not going to harm the king, are you?
Define harm.
Yes, I am.
What are you doing?
He does have two eyes, though.
Help!
Oh, I guess he used the other eye so he could...
Save your breath. No one is coming to help you.
She's gonna backstab us. Hell yeah. Oh, you've seen me kill tons of people.
Now, what am I going to do with you? There's really nowhere for you to go, is there? My name is Shadwen. You could come with me.
You're an evil murderer. I wouldn't want to go anywhere with you.
Fairly said. Until we meet again, little Lily. Stay safe.
Enjoy starving.
Goodbye, Shadwen.
Huh. Okay. So I'm gonna guess there probably isn't a big difference between the two endings. Or, well, assuming there's two. Maybe there's three. Maybe there's one where you kill everybody, but she doesn't know, and then at the very end, maybe you choose to kill the king, and maybe she's like, well, you only killed the one person. But, yeah, I'm gonna guess the different endings, at least the / evil one versus not killing him and not killing anybody up until that point. I'm gonna guess she probably goes with you, and, like, you guys live together as bizarre mother-daughter type of a relationship going on there. So overall, so this is where I typically give a kind of overall rundown on my thoughts on the game. I am going to do a formal review of the game, but just kind of off the cuff. Overall, I enjoyed it. The mechanic was really interesting. Again, the kind of rewinding time was a good way to get around the whole save load thing that you do a lot of times with stealth games. And it really let you set up some things that would be otherwise very, very difficult or near impossible. Things like you saw several times where I would like pull down barrels, and then right as I let go, I jump and I do a jumping stab attack on the one that I can see isn't going to be hit by the barrel. But I can only do this because time is stopped, or I can slowly push forward in time. So that was a really cool mechanic. That way, again, you don't really have any save load type scenarios. Some people might complain that dumbs it down, which I guess it could to some extent. But again, if you're just going to save and load, what's the difference? And again, it opens up some avenues of things that are, again, would be impossible or near impossible for a lot of people to pull off. And I think that's a lot of the draw to this game, is being able to do these fancy takedowns of pulling down barrels on people and timing drops on people to kill them, and splitting up the guards and dropping those rat things and having them go into an explosion, or drawing them into a dart or whatever other trap that you have set up. The animations and physics were a little wonky. It was a little bit too easy to kill guards with barrels and things. Like sometimes a barrel would nudge them and be fine. Other times the barrel would have just a smidgen more speed and would kill them for when they really shouldn't. And overall, the game was definitely easy. Even without the save and rewind ability, the AI of the guards was pretty easy to abuse. It didn't have some of the standard stealth aspects, like having guards who have really large walking paths. So you don't really have to worry about, I have to make sure to hide the guard's body, because there might be some guard that I haven't even seen yet that stumbles upon it. Pretty much, you very rarely needed to hide bodies because you were heading in a mostly progressive path. However, I do like, that said, being about the progressive path, I like that there's multiple small avenues you can go to go through those paths. And it was a little bit formulaic. You knew every stage pretty much. Oh, and it looks like she's got like the crow thing. Yeah, see, because she's got the eye, whatever. But what was I gonna say? It was very it was formulaic. You knew I was gonna have two sections. That's not even really negative. It just feels gamified. It kind of takes you out of the game because you know every zone is gonna have those two things. Story wise, there really wasn't much to it. All you knew that was that the king paid you to like get the eye and slash kill the other king. And then he ended up betraying you by not giving you his firstborn. Which I think even didn't they mention that the king's son died? So I'm going to guess you put a curse on him or you killed him in some way or something like that. And I'm guessing that's probably why you burned the forest down. Maybe you live in the forest. I mean, being a witch is, if you are a witch, you know, often live in the forest. So maybe that's why he burned it down, to get back at you or to make sure you didn't come for him or whatever. So, but there really wasn't much to it. It felt like there wasn't really much to the conclusion. You didn't get this big reveal. There wasn't this, it didn't feel like things were tied up. It's like, okay, well, you got revenge. Okay, that, you know, end the story. There wasn't really, she didn't have that emotional attachment to the revenge. And she didn't really show her hatred for the king for what he did. It was more of a, well, I'm picking up the tab. I'm the tax man. I'm picking up the money that you owe me, so to speak. So there wasn't really that emotion there, that draw to it. It was just kind of a mission to kill the king for the most part. But anyway, it was definitely a good game, though. I enjoyed it for the most part. Again, the major things I liked being finding these creative ways to distract and kill guards. And once I got the hang of it, the tools were fairly fun to use. And some of them were quite useful, especially the dart one. I like that one. That's the one I probably liked the least to start with. But then as I kind of figured out how to use it, it was very, very handy. But overall, I like this game. As far as a rating, 1 to 10, off the cuff, I'd say about a 7. I do use the full scale, so to me, a 7 is a good game. Even a 6 is technically a good game. Well, 6 would be like better than average. 7 is where you start to get into a good game. So I'd start giving it like a 7 or a 7.5. I like to see some of the physics and animation stuff cleaned up. I know it is an indie game, so I kind of look over some of that, and the game was a little bit overtly easy. I could have turned it on a higher difficulty, but it wouldn't have made a huge difference. It definitely helped, especially later on, but it wasn't like an enormous difference. The story was kind of weak. The characters weren't really developed all that well, but it was an enjoyable game. I definitely enjoyed my time playing it. And I would definitely recommend it to others, especially if you like stealth games. But, if you're a stealth veteran, just be aware that it is an easier game. You'll probably knock it out very easily, unless you try to not kill any guards. Then that looks like that could be significantly more difficult. But, and as far as price, I like to also give kind of a price review as to what I think you should pay for it. If you're a stealth fan, and you're 1, okay with it being easy if you kill everybody, or 2, plan on trying to avoid killing the guards. Assuming the escorting part works okay, I would say it's worth full price, which I can't even remember what that is. I'd say like 25, 30-ish bucks, maybe 20, 25, somewhere in there. If you're not really that big into stealth games, but you're okay with them, you're just like, all right, you think they're okay, but you don't consider yourself, even if you don't consider yourself that good at them, I think this game would be pretty easy. It's very, very forgiving with the rewind mechanic. The guards are fairly short-sighted. They can't see very far. They can't hear all that far. Even explosions, they can hear decently, but they definitely don't hear as far as they should. But yeah. If again, like 20 to 25 if you're a stealth fan, maybe 15-ish if you're not a stealth fan, then you probably shouldn't play this game at all, because it's stealth game. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, be checking out for the review, which I will probably put up after this video goes live. So and I don't know why you'd watch it after you watch the Let's Play, but whatever. Anyway, now I'm rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks again to Russ for your continued support on Patreon. Very much appreciate it. Make sure you guys leave comments. Let me know what you thought of this entire series. Follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.